That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
This week on Trade Talk, we're discussing Zorro Scars, number 1, written by Don McGregor, with art by Sidney Lima, sorry. Um, so this, as you can tell, is kind of small. It's by the company Papercutz that do books more for middle school kids and stuff. And this came out as a promotional series for the Legend of Zorro movie with Antonio Banderas. It's not a very good movie. But the reason I bought this is because I saw Don McGregor and I saw graphic novel, so I assumed it would be, graphic novel size. We were talking about Final Crisis on the comic review show, if you're interested. Or discussing it in reference to something, rather. So, but I like Don McGregor on Zorro. I did a review of Zorro the Dailies the first year, which was written by Don McGregor, and he did a fantastic job. That is a really, really good series. And so I saw this pop up on a website I was browsing and said to pick it up. I went ahead and bought the other 2 of the 4 volumes I could find of this. Even though it's small, it is pretty dense. It tells a complete story. So the story here is that Zorro is riding with this lady named, what's her name? Eulalia? Eulalia. Not sure how to pronounce that. He's been riding with this lady for about 2 months now out of California because the Comandante has been pursuing them relentlessly, so they've gone across the great American wilderness to a place that the Indians call of Yellowstone. So they're in Yellowstone National Park before it was a national park. And they're checking out all the geysers and the hot springs and stuff like that. But while they're there, they are... It's also worth mentioning why this is called Scars, because Lulia has a massive scar on her face now, which is kind of a big deal to someone that makes their living working at a tavern, which, much like waitressing today, was based a lot on tips and how you looked. So she's like, my life's over because I threw myself in the Commandante's way to stop him from shooting you in the back, and he smacked me across the face, cutting my face open with his pistol. And now I'm going to have this scar forever, so I have no future. This is pretty heavy stuff for something meant for a middle school kid. Anyway, so, she's kind of not sure what to do, and Zorro, throughout this entire book, is telling her, you're worth more than what's on the surface. You're a good person. That's what really matters. And so he's rushing her out of danger and across the country trying to find a place for her. And they're in Yellowstone and hear some gunshots as another couple is also in Yellowstone. How convenient. This is a map maker and his wife traveling across country. They have run into some trappers who are not happy that he is making maps of their hunting grounds because he's going to let other people know that it's good hunting here. And it's going to kill their business. So they're trying to hunt them down. And Zorro, hearing the gunshots, of course, being Zorro, rides right toward them. With Eulalia following. Anyway, there's some cool action here, and they get a lot of use out of the location, which is a neat idea. Like, you do this a lot with, like, Western stuff, is, okay, here's this place that, like, everyone kind of knows about now, but back in the day it was, like, a big deal. It was, what the hell is this thing? So they're in Yellowstone, and there's like a horse chase going on, and the ground is really thin and hot. And so, as they're riding horses away from these guys, they're cracking the ground and causing geysers to shoot up and boil the people alive. You know, for kids. He cooked. Too bad his horse had to suffer the same fate. That's a harsh, cold thing to say. Elulia, the man was taking pleasure in trying to shoot me in the back. Now, to me, that's harsh and cold. Zorro's awesome. So yeah, just some cool action as he stops these trappers from attempting to kill these people. I love this. That's a great panel of Zorro right there. As he's sliding down a cliff face towards a boiling hot spring and the men fall in it. What will Zorro do as he reaches the precipice? Well, of course, fucking backflip and stick the landing outside of the bounds of the hot spring. Duh. It's fucking Zorro. I don't know. It's cool. It's cool action. It's fun. So Zorro, being the upstanding guy he is, agrees to help these people and deal with this threat. And so the issue pretty much just becomes about trying to figure out where this guy is and getting kind of, chased around by him and his men. And the Lulia knows who Don Diego is, by the way. She figures that out after traveling with Zorro for so many months. Nice romantic moment with subtle implications and imagery. Very subtle. It's a geyser exploding out of the fertile ground. Subtle. Comic books are not the place for subtlety. But anyways, they're all like chasing around. During all this commotion, the map maker ends up getting shot, and so he slows them down, and they have to try to figure out a plan to get out of this situation. So they head towards some mountains and start climbing them. He's like, I'm gonna be able to climb them, but I don't know if I'll have the strength to ski down. And so we get a pretty cool little action scene to end this off as they put him on a sled and they all start skiing down the mountain together as they're being chased by the trappers. And so Zorro is on skis fighting these guys as he skis down a mountain. That's the back cover, by the way. That's a cool idea. I would not expect that in a Zorro comic, so it's certainly a unique scene. All their shooting and fighting has caused an avalanche that now everyone's trying to outrun, and of course the trappers are not done trying to kill these people, even though their own lives are at risk. In any case, they're defeated, and the good guys are able to survive and save the day. That's a neat moment right there. Just cool stuff. It's a neat little fun adventure story for Zorro in a unique setting as they, are in the great American West, as it were. That's a cool idea. I would not expect something like that. It's a great idea for setting. Don McGregor, when he's writing Zorro, seems to like to find these things to do, because I remember reading in his Zorro the Dailies book, it was, a lot of the plot was centered around the California tar pits, so he likes to use some of the unique geography of America as a country and help that inform his story before these things were really widely understood and known about in the New World as like a popular thing. So That's kind of cool. It's weird to think about in American history. So much of the continent or the country of North America on the continent of North America was completely unexplored by Western civilization. Of course, Indians knew their way around it and everything. Native Americans, sorry, knew their way around it, but they didn't, you know, if it wasn't convenient to live on that section of land, they wouldn't do that, as many nomadic groups would. So it's just neat to think about that, and it works well for, you know, this story set in the early 1800s. It's a solid book, though. It's fun. It's good for kids. The art's maybe a little too cartoony, simplistic. Like, I don't know, something about these make-out faces is just a little underdeveloped for me. But I don't know, I still enjoyed it. It's not like bad art or anything, and it gets the action really well too. I was really shocked by the amount of blood in this. Like, look at this as they come across all these slaughtered wolves. That's like a surprising amount of red on the page. Tornado is not dark enough. Tornado is just kind of gray there, brownish even. He needs to be much, much darker. Tornado is as dark as Zorro. Is that consistent throughout the book, or is that just that one scene? Yeah, Tornado is kind of brown throughout this. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. The villain here, you know, fun enough design with all the furs and everything. Looks, you know, reasonably authentic, but still menacing. Enjoyable. Fun story. I tend to like stuff where Zorro's dealing with, you know, the oppression of the state and all that stuff. But just as a single little thing for, you know, younger kids or something, I would have enjoyed reading this when I was 13, 14, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that'd be too cool for Zorro. But as it is, I thought it was, you know, fun little, that was a neat read. So I'll be talking about the other volumes of that whenever I get those. Hopefully soon-ish. That's all I got for this week, though. It took a lot longer for me to do that than I thought it would. Hope you enjoyed. In any case, thanks for watching. Bye.
That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.